So the Republican Party is losing their minds over Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her Democratic-Socialism, right? So no, Alexandria Cortez, of course, has been making rounds on cable TV after her win over Joe Crowley. Now, she's been on Colbert and also was recently on The View. Now, while she was there, she explained her belief system and why she calls herself a Democratic Socialist. So fast forward to recently, there's another conversation taking place on The View where Sunny Hostin is going to bring that back up. And so I want you to pay attention to what she says and the audience reaction, because that's actually very important to the context. Let's take a look.
I had her on the show, and I asked her this question about what do you mean by being a Democratic Socialist? And platform. She says Medicare for all.
Good.
Fully funded public schools and universities.
Love it.
Paid family and sick leave.
Good.
Justice system reform, immigration justice, infrastructural overhaul, clean campaign finance, an economy of peace, housing as a human right.
Well,
I don't know.
It's a really successful country.
Can I please push back on
wrong with that?
This makes my head explode, which, by the way, I hope Democrats do run a Democratic Socialist.
Do you hope that we win? Do you win the Democrats?
No, because I think you'll lose spectacularly, and then I will look forward to election night when I finally get to tell everybody I told you so if you end up running a radical.
Oh, she's such a radical. Oh, so radical. Public school, universities, and public schools that are taxpayer funded. Oh my God, fully funded. Medicare for all. Economy of peace. Oh my God, no, we love war. In fact, my father is a war hawk, along with Lindsey Graham. Oh no, we can't have that. No, that's crazy. My head just exploded. Really? Now here's the thing, right? Now Joey Behar, of course, is fighting against that. And saying, no, that's incorrect. This actually sounds like a successful country. And we actually have great examples of this in Scandinavian countries, right? And in Europe. But of course, as I said before, Behar is actually sensible because she does support Bernie Sanders. I mean, look, who could be against clean campaign finance, housing is a human right, Medicare for all? Well, look, we know who, and that's Meghan McCain, who's going to go into an absolute meltdown over this. Let's take a look.
Problem with socialism, in the words of Margaret Thatcher, at a certain point you run out of spending other people's money. Venezuela, one of the now, the average Venezuelan has lost 24 pounds because they're starving to death. 90% of the country is living in poverty.
I think she's talking more about Scandinavia than Venezuela.
I'm sorry. This is what I need from her. Name one country that socialism has ever worked, and also every Democratic Socialist who is going on TV saying that it's good needs to start paying 90% in taxes.
Iceland.
On your tax form. No, on your tax form. On your tax form, I think you should start paying the amount of taxes that every socialist in this country thinks you need to. Because if you think the government is so good at spending money, look at the VA.
Hold on a second.
Because it is dangerous.
I just told you several countries that do it.
I'm sorry.
Hold on a minute.
Hold on, everybody. God bless you all.
I hate that bell.
Hold on. I know you hate the bell. Then everybody stop talking over each other, and I won't hit the bell.
With a population of 300,000 people, in any way, in no way can be related in any way comparably to the United States of America. I'm sorry. If you think it's good, then you need to be paying the amount of taxes that in socialistic countries.
Let her get her thing and go ahead.
Because it's petrifying to me that this is being normalized.
Oh, I'm so scared. It's petrifying me that this is being normalized. Oh my God. So this is awesome because every time somebody brings up Democratic Socialism, which in reality, Ocasio-Cortez and her policies are actually hallmarks of good old social democracy. That is, i.e. Scandinavian model, i.e. going back to FDR. Somebody always has to bring up Venezuela. Venezuela. People, Venezuela, 24 pounds. They can't eat. It's socialist. It's socialist. She just pointed out how she's like, no, we're actually for the Scandinavian model, which is mixed market economy, social democracy. Nobody's calling for outright well, there are people calling for outright socialism. She is not one of them. But it's that false equivalency. They go and they bring it up. Socialism. They don't even know what it means. They can't even define it. All they can do is they can bring up Venezuela. And I'm surprised they don't bring up Greece. But no, they don't bring up Greece anymore. But anyway, here's the thing about this, right? So notice how throughout the whole thing, she just filibusters, right? So she keeps talking. She's basically screaming and having a complete meltdown over this because she can't fathom that people would be in favor of things like universal health care. Actual universal health care covers everybody and is administered through a single payer model. She can't wrap her head around it. Oh my God. No, I'm for a system where we have to pay for health insurance unlike any other country. Out of pocket, we have to pay insurance companies, private insurance companies. No, everybody pays for health insurance through taxes in these other countries. Only in America, where we have a system that is mainly for profit, where people go around not being able to afford health care. That's insanity. And she doesn't see it. She thinks the opposite of that is Venezuela. It's ridiculous. But it shows you how afraid that they are, right? I mean, look, this is what they do. They have absolutely no argument, and they won't engage you on the actuality. And by the way, there is no socialist country that pays 90% in taxes. It's a completely made-up number. Even in Denmark, taxes are not 90%. Not even when we actually charge the rich with a tax rate of 90%, did they actually pay 90%. No, they didn't. That was marginal tax rates. Anywhere over a certain amount of money, you had to pay 90% on. And you know when that happened? That was actually when America was doing economically great for the middle class. That's when we actually grew the middle class. They have no argument, man. They ignore the successful social democracies that are existing in Europe, and they will cherry pick out examples of the extreme forms. And by the way, authoritarian, which I believe Venezuela is, obviously authoritarian in Cuba, authoritarian in North Korea. That's not an example of actual socialism, which is not even what we're arguing about. So please, if you're going to argue that point, if you're going to say Venezuela, if you're going to say socialism, at least know what the fuck it is. They have no argument. They have nothing but fear, and that's what they're going to try to sell you because they don't want these policies because it hurts their donors. And that's what it is. And poor Meghan McCain has had this drilled throughout her entire life into her head that any policy that helps the American people paid for through taxes is terrible. Well, in reality, the Republican Party, when they were in power, always tries to sabotage those programs, tries to privatize those programs, and that is where the fault usually lies. I mean, the post office, she used the post office as an example. The post office would actually be doing really, really well if they didn't have to fund their retirements up to 70 years in advance. Again, that was a Republican idea. So get your facts straight if you want to argue. And Joy Behar, I got to give her credit in this one. She not only kept cool, but she also had the facts on her side. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.